We're just,
Uh,
oh shit, man. Seriously, we've like the funny thing is with these podcasts, it's like the bit before the podcast ends
yeah,
up being longer than the actual
we're talking
podcast.
for an
Like,
hour, you know that, before we start.
this is crazy. Folks, nice of you to join us on this new episode that we're
Mm,
bringing out to you. This is episode 186. Fast approaching the
a
4-year
lot.
anniversary of the
Wow.
Flixters, folks. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
186 in the mix.
Oh,
Shit.
man.
We
I
was
know.
we were supposed to do this once. Remember, this was like let's just give it a try and see what happens. It was a one timer, and now look.
4 years later, here we are.
Mm,
And yeah, so I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this, maybe in the car, at home, in the bath, or whatever. And if you are listening to us in the bath, make sure you're
get
cleaning.
bubbly, bubbly,
You're
bubbly.
clean. Make sure you're doing something.
Boom, bubbly.
All right, so listen, here's the kind of what we've got planned for this episode. We've got a review of a new
Oh
Netflix
gosh.
horror thriller that we're going to be
Yeah.
bringing out to you. And actually, sorry, I'm mid
Mhm.
podcast. About I'm going to put these lights on. You know me and my
Oh,
lights.
look at that. Getting on those
You know me
lights.
and my lights.
He's got
Uh,
remotes for the lights. Look at him. He's got,
Fucking Tony Stark.
he's got
All these lights. Um, yeah, sorry. So where are we? So we've got obviously film reviews. We've got bringing you this Netflix movie that we're going to speak about. We're going to be
Mm.
speaking about Moon Knight,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, we're going to chuck in some trailers and obviously some film reviews. But before any of that, Devout is going to go through some of the shout-outs.
Yeah, so I got some shout outs this week. Thank you for everyone that communicates with us on
Yeah,
Instagram or
we love
Facebook or
it.
whatever it is. We really do appreciate you. First shout out goes to the one and only Zakharov, our very own Zakharov. He's going to be on the show soon. Not sure when, but he's going to be on the show very soon. He shouted us out on Instagram saying that he's going to watch The Northman. Hasn't seen it
Mm.
yet. Really wants to see it, but he didn't want to watch it alone. I said to him, "You're never alone. We are always with you,
Oh,
Zakharov."
wicked! And what did he say? He said he watched Coda yesterday, and he said beautiful little
Yeah,
film. So yeah, that's
yeah,
really good. Yeah,
yeah,
we
exactly.
like that one, Zakharov. Yeah, well done with that one. Yeah,
There you go. Next shout out goes out to Cloud Watcher Uno. Go check out his page on Instagram. All about the music. He's a real music guy. He's got his own podcast as well. Like I said, it's called Cloud Watcher Uno. He shouted us out. Just following on from last week's movie, Michelle Yao's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I think you
yeah,
put a post on there about it, and he said, "Yep, this is how to really do the multiverse." So
yeah.
he's all
Really
about it.
good.
Definitely. Last shout out goes to Ciel Noir Trois or
Wow.
Ciel Noir 3. Check her out on Instagram. Really great page. She's going for a competition actually at the moment. This competition's about people that are on social media, influencers, or people that are positive and want to really help people around the world. Also supports cancer as well. So go check out Ciel Noir 3. Go and vote for her and make
Yeah,
sure
please
she
support.
is a winner that she already is. Anyway, so yeah, big shout outs to our people. Thank you.
Big shout. Thanks for listening, guys. All right, okay, on to movie news. Um, and listen, Devout, this is so weird. I was just playing Streets of Rage like just the other day.
No, you
Uh,
wasn't. No,
s-
you
s-
wasn't.
I trust me, I was because I got that little Sega mini thing, and one
Oh
of the
yeah, yeah,
games
yeah.
one of the games that's loaded on there is Streets of Rage. I love that game.
Yeah.
But tell me, man, what's happening with this? Are they turning this into a TV show or a film or what?
This is being turned into a film, Streets
Oh,
of Rage.
wicked.
So this was the Sega game from the 90s,
Yep.
platform kind of fighter. This is being turned into a film by the producer or creator of John Wick. John
Say no
Wick, as we
more.
know, part one, part two, part three, Keanu Reeves, that film is all about fighting. So who better than create this Streets of Rage movie? So I think it could be a hit. At the
Yeah.
same time, we've seen computer games being turned into movies that have
Mm,
turned out really shit. So
mm.
only time will tell. Streets of Rage. I'm just double checking because I always get Streets of Rage mixed up with Final Fight.
Oh,
So
another great
Streets
one.
of Rage, that's the one that had the characters were what was their names
Axel,
again?
was it Axel? Or,
Axel, yeah,
that was it. Yeah.
Axel, and was it Guy? Oh, I'm getting mixed up again, aren't I?
Yeah. Guy. No, Guy and Cody. They were final fight, I think.
That's it. Oh,
And
you
Hagar.
do
Hagar
know
was
your.
final fight.
Yes. Okay. Okay. You know your stuff. Okay. Of course. Okay. Okay.
I tell you what, they're great. They're great games, and if they can do the John Wick kind of thing to them,
Yeah.
that is going to be great. I'll watch that. Um, my only thing is, with the whole game things and the Sega ones, did you? I'm not sure if you heard about this, but Sonic Part Two, which I've seen by the way, didn't bother
Mm.
reviewing it, but it's done really, really well, Deval,
Oh, has
and
it?
they're going to be making a third one.
Okay. I ain't seen part two. Part one was okay, but
Yeah,
I guess Sega are. I mean, a lot of people that are around now, all the young people today, many of them haven't actually played Sega. They're all
no.
PlayStation, Xbox people, aren't they? It's more like the old fogies like us that played Sega.
And when
So
they
it's
see it, they're
interesting that
probably thinking, "What is this shit?"
exactly, cartridges, actual cartridges you put in a computer. And if the cartridge didn't like, sometimes they were bigger than this most of the time.
Yeah.
But sometimes the game wouldn't work, so you'd have to go like give it that quick blow. You can't get too much moisture. You have to go and then put it in, turn it on, and it goes ding, and it works. That's the
and
magic.
then you would do the same thing with like VHS tapes as well. Like it's
Yes,
just
exactly. See,
wind them up low.
we knew from a really young age that if all isn't right in the world, all you need to do is go like that.
That is it. That solved everything, man. Oh shit, the good old days. Um, all right, let's go on to some Sony news now. Sony's Madam Web,
Mm.
Devaldo. Tell us about this one because this is going to be interesting, man.
Yeah, Madam Web is a really mystical character from the sort of Spider-Man universe, Marvel universe, I should say. Sony has the rights to Madam Web. Madam Web will be played by Dakota Johnson. I think last time I mentioned
Yeah,
this, I said Dakota Fanning. It's not Fanning, it's Johnson.
yeah, Johnson.
Yeah, so the one from 50 Shades. So she's going to be Madam Web, a younger version. Madam Web is a bit of a, like I said, mystical character, a little bit like Doctor Strange, able to go into different realms and, guide Spider-Man on his
Yeah.
journey between this, dimension and that dimension. A really quirky character, but an interesting one that I think Sony can either, well, we saw what Sony done with Morbius. Sony
Oh
can mess up a
shit.
film. So I'm kind of nervous with this one.
I
Sony,
know.
yeah, I'm nervous. This character is not a character that should be messed around. Morbius is a good character. They screwed him up.
They screwed him up.
Madam Web is a great character. Will
Craven.
they screw her up?
If they
Maybe.
mess up, listen, man, listen. If they mess up Craven the Hunter, we know for a fact then that they
Yeah,
fucking like they cannot be trusted. Like
they
seriously,
cannot be
don't
trusted.
give them anything.
No,
Like seriously,
cannot
just
be.
give them back to Marvel. Like
Yeah.
honestly, and just on
Madam
that,
Web's going to be coming out next year, so July
July.
2023, so just over a year's time. So filming will start imminently.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be good, man. The storyline,
Mm,
yeah, it's a really, really good character. If you haven't heard of her, do some reading up on it.
yeah.
Really, really highly recommended that one. Now, listen, check this one out. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which we saw, like I think back in 2018, great animation. It won an Oscar, by the way,
Mm,
and big hit. And then the way they left that movie, that's probably what the other good thing that Sony's actually done, right? Is the animation. The way they left that movie is it's kind of opened up to the whole kind of Spider Verse and multiverse, etc. Now we were supposed to be watching Spider Man Across the Spider Verse this year. It's actually now
mm,
been delayed, Devaldo,
mm,
and it's going to be coming out. It looks like at the end of 2023.
mm,
And part two is now going to be releasing in March the 29th, 2024. But I
mm.
suppose that is probably going to be delayed as well. Um, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, so just to remind everyone, this is kind of Miles Morales, voiced by Shamik Moore. You had Haley Steinfeld voicing Gwen Stacy. Oscar Isaac is going to be back as Miguel O'Hara. We've been seeing him in Moon Knight, but he's going to be playing a version of a Spider-Man
Mm,
called Spider-Man 2099. So there's going to be lots of shenanigans and multiverses and time travel and all that sort of stuff going on. But yeah, man, I was looking forward to that one
mm. Now you're going to be looking forward to it a lot more.
a lot more. Exactly.
Keep looking forward.
Now, listen, you've got over here
Mm.
just the words, well, just the word fast and then the letter X.
Yes. So this is the title for Fast and Furious 10.
Yep.
X, as we know in the Roman sort of Roman numerals, is
Yep.
designated with an X. So yeah, that's it. So basically, Vin Diesel posted, a caption. Well, not a caption. Most of the poster, almost title
Yeah,
poster, just with the X and with fast behind it, and that's it. So everyone's really buzzing now, hoping it's going to be a good film.
yeah,
Filming's going to start real soon. So this is going to be out next year, summer. So as we've heard, Brie Larson's going to be involved in
yeah. We
this.
spoke about it last
New
week.
baddie, Jason Momoa is going to be a new baddie. He's going to be working with Cypher. I think her name is Charlize Theron's
Yep.
character. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Should be decent. Two more films to go. So yeah, I think this is going to make some money for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, this is going to be huge. Big movies, big franchise, and remember, folks, we're still waiting to see if The Rock will appear at
Mm,
some point, which I don't reckon. But listen, let's move on to kind of DC news now. Deval, we spoke about this maybe just a couple of weeks ago, and we said Ezra
uh,
Miller, he
yeah.
was arrested in Hawaii. But check this out, right? The reports are coming out that he was arrested again in Hawaii. I don't know what it is with him in Hawaii, man. He should just stay away from that place. Like seriously,
Makes
Ezra
it a
Miller.
peaceful, chill that place. Tequilas on the beach or whatever.
Exactly, man. Like, what's he doing? Um, so, and I think you mentioned this before, didn't you? You mentioned that there's a kind of like this growing voice of people are saying,
Yeah.
scrap
Get
Ezra
rid.
Miller, bring in the guy from The Flash,
Grant
the TV
Gustin.
show, Grant
Mm,
Gustin, and whatnot. And yeah, loads of people are saying it even more now. So, this guy, he is getting himself into a lot of trouble. How does that relate to kind of his future with DC? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, man, he got arrested again, which I kind of thought was pretty sad and shitty as well. Deval, do you remember or have you heard of Salem's Lot?
it's a Stephen King's film. I've not seen it.
You know what? It is. It's a Stephen King novel. Came out in 1975, and
Mm,
then it was a big hit, huge, like
mm,
critical, like well, kind of well received. And then they made a two-part TV movie,
mm.
and
Like
that
it.
was back
That's
in
two-part TV, isn't it? Back in the 90s.
yeah, or well, that was the second. No, it was. I think that was another one, but this one came out in I think it was the late 70s or the early
Oh,
80s or
okay.
something.
Okay.
And I remember watching that one like when I was probably like about 10 or 11 years old, it scared the shit out of me. And then they did a Rob Lowe one, did one years later. But check this out. Warner Brothers, they are going to be releasing a new Salem's Lot movie. It's going to be coming out September this year, and it's going to be written and directed by the guy who did It and It Too.
Andy
So
Muschietti or something, or
the guy
did the
who wrote
oh
It.
right, okay, 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 all right.
So it's kind of like he's got the pedigree, like
Mm,
so those movies have done quite well and everything. But here's the thing: I was reading up about it, right, and I was like, okay, this is great. It's going to be coming out in September. It's
mm.
people love the story, they love that kind of original TV movie. And then I was like, okay, who's in the movie? Who's in the movie? And you know what? There was, I don't know any of the people, so I'm like,
That could be a good thing.
that could be a
Sometimes the
good thing.
unknown, no low expectations and over succeed. It could be.
Exactly, and it kind of reminds me of the whole kind of the thing with Invisible Man.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
the Invisible Woman. They
yeah,
obviously Elizabeth Moss.
yeah,
She's a big person, but she was kind of like for me the only big person in there.
yeah. No, you're right, and that was low budget, but it done really well in the box
It done
office.
really
So
well. So maybe this, because the story is so well received and well loved. Hopefully, Warner Brothers, they can turn this into a great movie. But the good thing is the guy behind It and It Too, and he's done a couple of other things as well. He did Salem's
mm,
Lot,
mm,
the remake, just recently. So hopefully, him being behind it, it can be kind of good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's September. And I want to mention this one. Well, we don't actually hear about this Deval movies getting
mm.
banned like
Yeah.
nowadays, right? You
Well,
don't
I
really
think
hear about
China's
it, or
China's banned a couple. For different
maybe you
reasons,
do
or
then.
they used to a lot, and then Marvel changed their strategy, and they included some positive, sort of, either Chinese or East Asian, basically, sort of, characters or environments. That's why a lot of times you see they will go to like Korea, like in Age of Ultron, or
Yeah,
they'll some sort of positive spin on that neck of the world because they don't let in a lot of American films.
yeah,
That's why Marvel have really had to include certain, East Asian environments and characters. I think
Absolutely.
strategy.
Well, check this one out. I was just kind of like wanted to bring this up, and it's kind of interesting that it still happens, but it does happen. Doctor Strange 2 is actually being banned apparently in
Mm,
Saudi Arabia
mm,
because, check this out, America Chavez, Miss America,
mm.
played by, I hope I get this pronounced as right, it's Chotil Gomez, I think that's how you pronounce it. Chotil, it's with an X.
Whatever you can pronounce is
Um,
much better than I'll be able to. So you're fine.
yeah, she plays a lesbian character, so she plays like a queer character,
Yeah.
and that obviously is frowned upon in
Mm,
countries like Saudi Arabia. So they were like, listen, if you're going to include this character in the movie, well, they have to, because she's flipping one of the main characters.
yeah.
We're not going to be showing this movie in the cinema.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just like, shit, yeah, this stuff, I always forget this stuff still goes on around the world. And there's obviously conservative countries where,
Mm.
but I think at the moment, Disney, they, do you reckon they would ever cut the movie so that she's not in it and release it in Saudi
No, they
Arabia?
can't.
They
They
can't.
can't. Nah. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised this has happened.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like with Eternals, I can't remember his name now, but yeah, Brian Tyree Henry's
That was
character,
it.
he was a gay character, and there was a kiss. There was a gay kiss in the
And they
movie
cut it
in
out.
Eternals. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that in the Middle East. I'm not sure if the whole film was banned or maybe that part was banned. That
Yeah.
was quite a small part in the film that can be cut, and the rest of the film wouldn't be affected. But
Yeah.
whereas
True.
this situation, I'm not sure why the whole film's being banned. I don't know, but yeah, I guess interesting. But yeah, they lost anyway. Multiverse of Madness is going to be good, and people in those countries, Saudi Arabia or whatever, people that really want to see it, they're going to find a way.
Oh man, they'll seriously, they'll get a
Just
copy
like
in
they say in
bootlegged.
Jurassic Park, nature finds a
So
way.
way.
Yes.
We've only got about 10 or 11 days, I think, for that one. So remember, folks, keep it locked with the Flixters. We're going to be bringing that to you. And
Yes.
finally, on movie news, Devaldo, just tell us
Mhm.
about this, because this is to tell us about
Yeah.
this
So
news.
I've actually been following some of the Johnny Depp and Amber
Me
Heard
too.
court case. I mean, this is kind of related to movies, but it's not. But I mean,
Yeah.
in the court case, it did come out that Johnny Depp was. He said he was, that Disney basically didn't use him in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean films because they felt it was safe. It was safer not to use him because of the allegations of
Of
domestic abuse and stuff
yeah.
like that. But anyway, that's that. But which I'm not saying is yes, it's very bad. I mean, obviously they're going through court to prove whether it's happened or not. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk
Mm.
about Amber Heard being in depth shit because during Amber Heard is in depth shit. So during the case, it was came to light that there was a there was an argument or something that they've been arguing a lot. These two are as bad as each other, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
man.
They've been arguing a lot. Lots of shit was going on, and there was a situation where Johnny Depp came to his bed and there was shit in the bed. There was shit in his bed, and he said to her, like, "What is going on? What is this
Oh.
shit doing in my bed?" And she said, "It was the dogs." Now these dogs are like those little Hollywood dogs.
Oh,
These little Hollywood dogs are like they're like this size, aren't they?
yes, yeah.
And he said that
Little
the shit that
rats.
was in the bed was no dog shit.
It was her
It was.
shit.
You should have seen in court. He was so embarrassed to even bring it up. It was just crazy. These
Oh
millionaires,
man.
these people that people look up to, red carpet, always look lavish and all that. If you hear the shit that's going on in this case,
Behind the
it
scenes. Oh
is
my god, literally
it's
behind the
funny,
scenes.
it's sad, it shows you that no matter what you've got in your bank, you're still human at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
That's it.
And they still go through the kind of like, those trials and tribulations, and that
Yeah,
all the shit that goes on in life. But there was one video
unintended.
that I saw. There was one video that I saw where there was a video of
Mm,
Amber Heard screaming at him, and
yeah,
like she's saying shit to him, and
yeah,
she's like doing all this stuff, and his face, like he's got to share this with the whole world.
Yeah, yeah, we're seeing everything. Honestly, this case is
Oh, this is
interesting.
bad. This
It's
is like,
interesting.
yeah,
It's on court TV right now, and I'm literally watching it like
I
a
know.
TV show.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing, Deval. Give it a year or a couple of
Yeah.
years. They're gonna make a movie out of it. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
come on,
man.
man.
It's gonna come out, man.
Netflix is waiting right now. There's going to be a Netflix special or something.
Seriously, it's going to happen, man. Seriously. So listen,
Mm,
if you want to hear about the depth shit that is going on, go check out. Just type it in, and you kind of hear about all that sort of stuff. And I
mm,
know we're kind
mm.
of like joking about it, but there's a serious side to it as well.
Yeah,
Obviously, we're not here to talk about that, but you get what I mean, right?
yeah.
All right, let's move on to new on streaming now. We've spoken about this
Yeah.
before. Moon Knight is currently
Mm.
airing on Disney Plus. You can go check it out. We've only got a couple more episodes left. And so, Deval, yeah, this one, believe it or not, Deval, I actually did not see this episode.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
This
you take
episode,
it
yeah,
away.
this episode took us more into the mind, I would say, of
Mm,
uh, of Mark Spector or Moon Knight or Steve is the other guy. So this
yeah.
one here, this was almost an episode where the goodies kind of lost. I'm not going to
Right.
say too
Okay.
much, but the goodies kind of lost, and you go into the mind of Mark Spector, and in that mind, it's mayhem.
Shit.
It kind of reminded me a bit. This episode reminded me not a bit. It reminded me a lot of what was the X-Men TV show we watched.
Oh, do you
Uh,
remember that one? Legion.
Legion. Sorry, that's it. Yeah. So this one reminded me a lot of Legion because you're
Yeah.
not sure what's real, what's not real, and
Good.
they go into an asylum and it's that environment just like in Legion, and it's just a bit crazy.
Wow.
And he's having these conversations with people, and you're finding out a bit more about his battle, his internal conflict with his different personalities,
Yeah.
and you get to see how you know clever Ethan Hawke's character is in manipulating him, and it's an interesting episode. It
Yeah.
does really help, obviously, take the story on. But yeah, it's different. It's a different episode, but very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
And
And do we see in this episode, do we see more of Mark or is it Stephen?
Mark, you see more
Oh,
of
it's
Mark,
Mark. It's more of
yeah. But
Mark.
then
Okay.
you also see both of them. I'm not going to spoil it in how you see it, but then you also
Right.
get to see both of them at the
Okay,
same
cool.
time. But it's
Nice.
weird. But it's a weird episode.
Yeah.
But just roll with it. But it's
And
decent.
and how are you like after watching now the fourth episode,
Mm.
how in terms of kind of like, your excitement level, how
It's
how
not.
does it kind of rate?
It's not as high as I thought it would be. I
Mm,
don't know why I thought Moon Knight was a character that was going to really, provide that
yeah.
kind of thing. So
Yeah,
he's.
sure.
I don't think I know enough of him or know what he's about or what he can do to really, let it really get up there for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it's there
Absolutely.
yet. Two episodes left. That could change, so we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. And remember, folks, remember this leads us nicely on
Mm.
to Doctor Strange, and then around June time, we're going to be seeing Ms. Marvel,
Yeah.
and then July is going to be Thor,
Oh, come on,
which
come
we'll speak
on,
about in a bit. Which we'll speak about in a
come
bit. But just
on.
briefly, Devaldo, let's just speak about this show.
Yeah.
People have been raving about this show for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. We managed to watch it, and
Well, let me say I've actually. I'm still on episode one, but I
all
know
right,
you have.
okay. I've seen this, and I thought it was gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna watch one episode, and then I'll kind of see whether or not I like it or not.
So this is Severance, everyone. Severance on
Sorry,
Apple.
Severance. Yeah, it's on Apple
Yeah.
Plus, by the way. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch the one episode, and then I'll see how we go. And then I watched the one episode. It was late at night, and I was like,
Mm.
shit, I'm gonna have to watch another episode. And then before you know it, bloody, I watched about 5 episodes all in one go, and it was so addictive. And I can't see. The thing is, right, I still don't even know how to explain what this is. As
That's a good
character,
thing. Sometimes that's a good thing. Yeah. It's
yes,
not always bad.
is it science fiction? Yeah. What? Okay, it's a science fiction. It's
Twilight
kind of
Zone kind of situation.
Twilight Zone type of a thing, where it focuses on this main character. He works for a company called Lumon, and the technology behind how he works for this company is super weird. Where
Mm.
he he starts the day, and when you enter the company, you have no memory of your real
Mm.
life, and then you have a work life kind of character and personality, and when you leave that work life, then you go back to you living your real life. And there's a reason why he chose to have this operation done to him, which is called severance, where you
Mm.
have this kind of split personality. And oh my god, Deval, it is absolutely bonkers, it's mad. And by the end of the whole thing, you still don't even know what the hell's going on or what they're actually doing in this company, but it's gripping, man. I
And it's
was
directed by
gripped.
Ben Stiller, like a comedy, and he's able to create this suspenseful
How?
sci-fi mystery type
Exactly. And it
situation.
stars Adam Scott, it stars Christopher Walken, John Turturro, who we just saw recently in the Batman.
Mm.
It's got this
Mm.
kind of like great characters, and it's got the guy. Do you remember the guy from Spider-Man, the one that goes, "Hey, Spider-Man"?
I thought it was him. Yeah, I thought.
He was in
Can you do a
Shang-Chi.
flip? Can you
Yeah,
do a flip? That guy, isn't it?
yeah,
And he was in Shang-Chi as well on a
yeah.
bus.
And
Oh
just
my
seeing him
god.
in this do kind of like a different role and dramatic role, it was just like, oh my gosh, it's so weird.
Ugh.
Um, Give it a watch. Seriously, if you
Mm.
can find the time and like get in those extra episodes, I highly recommend this one.
Okay.
There's going to be a second season, so more head scratching basically. And then the other one that I want to speak about is new on streaming.
Mm.
Is the John Wayne Gacy tapes. And kind of
Mm.
devour Netflix, they're doing this thing, aren't they, where they're focusing on these serial killers, and they
Mm.
had the Ted Bundy ones, and now they've focused on this guy. Oh my gosh, man.
Sick. I
This
watch a lot of
guy,
these crime shows, and I've heard about him before. And this guy, he's from Illinois, Chicago, and he was a respected member of society, family man, wife and two kids. He was in politics. He was, a good, or on the surface, a good guy.
yeah.
He also dressed up as a clown as well, and
Ah,
he done that for different events and charity and kids. And he actually said that he enjoyed that. He didn't even get paid for it, but he just
yeah.
enjoyed dressing up as a clown.
And there's a
I
reason for
mean,
that.
I mean, you see his clown pictures; they do look a bit like it. He could easily be in it,
Easily the
as
scariest thing there,
people
man.
have actually lined him up. I think I've seen a clown montage of, like, you got the Joker, you got
Yeah.
it, you got him, John Wayne Gacy, yeah, and you've got a couple other weird, like, bad clowns, and he's in there with that group. But this guy's a serial killer. He basically, he used to prowl on young boys. They used to work for his construction company, and
Yeah.
he used to hire them. He just liked young boys, young blonde boys, and these boys are going missing. And then before you know it, without spoiling it too much, he is the culprit, and it's
Yeah.
disgusting how they found them and the
uh
conditions, and it's just not a nice
It's
situation.
not nice. And the thing is, these documentaries, what sets this
Mm,
documentary apart, and maybe there are other documentaries, is the fact that they have the actual voice recordings of this guy, and he's like a maniac. But one of the things that I just kind of
he's
quickly
very
mentioned,
frank, isn't he? I need to get my
yeah,
charger, actually. My battery's dying. So you can go ahead. I'm gonna.
yeah, is this idea of a fear of clowns is actually called coulrophobia. And I kind of like didn't even realize that that was an actual thing. But yeah, coulrophobia is this fear of clowns. And this guy, John Wayne Gacy, is kind of like the reason why so many people were scared of clowns. So it's just like, if you watch the documentary, be prepared, because coulrophobia is an actual real thing, Deval.
Serious.
Coulrophobia, fear of clowns.
I've
People,
heard of. I didn't know the actual name of it, but I've heard some people are like scared of clowns, and I
yeah.
guess
And this
does it
guy,
come?
John Wayne Gacy, was a real reason why people were
Hmm,
scared of clowns as well. I mean,
nah.
imagine seeing that at the back of your garden or something like that. It'd be like
Oh, crazy. Oh,
really, really
so
crazy. So that's out on Netflix. It's called the
really
John
naughty
Wayne
today. I should
Gacy
have charged
tapes.
my laptop before. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Hello,
It's called the
everyone.
John Wayne Gacy tapes. That's out on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And
Yeah.
then there's another companion piece of that one, which is the Ted Bundy tapes as well, and
Oh,
another
yeah.
another
Well made documentaries. Really well made.
really
Mm.
good. And Netflix, I mean, again, they're losing subscribers, Deval. I'm not sure if you heard about this, but they still
Yeah.
make some really good like documentaries.
People are sharing those passwords, isn't it?
Man, they're going to be cracking down on that one. So, folks, be warned. Be warned. Better warn myself. Um, um, all right, let's
Oh my
speak about
god.
this new on trailers. We kind
Mm,
of mentioned this a bit before.
yeah,
Thor: Love and Thunder.
yeah,
The trailer just released. I remember you put this in the WhatsApp group, and you got to basically watch this on a big screen or whatever, and not on your phone. Try and
yeah.
watch
That's
it
what I
on
did.
the big
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
But yeah, man, Deval, tell us
So
about this. Just
this
run us
trailer.
through this.
So this film's coming out in July this year.
Yep.
So this is the fourth. This is the only time Marvel has made a fourth movie of a singular character. Obviously, we've had four Avengers movies, but this is the fourth Thor movie. This is really gonna maybe it's gonna cap off his journey because we
Yeah.
know he started off as a egotistical young man. Didn't really think of his actions. Wanted to fight. Second movie, he had to defend his home. He lost his mother. He lost his eye. I think no, that was a third movie. Sorry, yeah. So he lost his
Mm,
mum in the second movie. He grew up a little bit. Third movie was like the loss of everything.
yeah.
His dad, his eye, his land,
Yeah.
and then in Avengers he lost his brother. So this one here, this movie, Love and Thunder, so far it shows us that he doesn't even want to fight anymore. He's
No.
lost the will to fight. He wants to just love and just chill out. He doesn't want to be that warrior that he's been for so many thousands of years. Remember, these
Yeah.
Asgardians are not like us. So this looks like an interesting shift in his mindset. And we've got the Guardians there as well. The Guardians are there just busting jokes. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on there, but it's going to be funny.
Yep.
And then we're introduced also to Jane Foster Thor,
Yes.
and she has the original hammer with the cracks in it. And in
Yeah.
Japan
With
they have that.
Hella.
In Japan they have that. It's art in Japan where if something's broken, you kind of fix it,
Yes.
and then you have a gold sort of lining that almost represents the veins of that item.
Yes.
And this looks like it's kind of made like
There's a
that.
word
So
for that one, and yeah.
the word escapes me, but somehow they've put the hammer back together, and Jane Foster, is holding it. Natalie Portman. Let's see how that turns out. I mean, in the
Yeah.
comics, that's what happens.
But see,
So
the thing is,
this,
how
yeah,
did so what would she have? Because I mean, where did the hammer go when Hela broke the
remember
crushed
she
the?
she just broke it and it fell on the floor. It's like it just fell to pieces. So I guess it,
Mm,
it still existed. Where was that? Was that on Earth or was that on Asgard? I can't remember now.
yeah.
But wherever it was, those pieces may still exist, and somehow she picked them up and put them back together again, like Humpty Dumpty. I mean, it can happen. You know, these things, super glue. I mean,
Trust me,
Loctite,
man.
super glue,
Yeah, it's
Loctite
going to be
glue.
great. It's going to be great to see how this all kind of fits in. But you're absolutely right. Like this whole journey thing. It starts off with him running, so you see him running as a kid, and
Yeah,
then a bit
yeah,
older, and then him as Thor and everything like that. But yeah, man, it looks great. Obviously, the vibe and the tone of it, and the
mm,
kind of the look of it feels similar to Thor Ragnarok,
yeah,
obviously because the
yeah,
same
yeah.
directors.
I reckon
But
there's going to be a lot of Guardians vibes in it as well. But one thing we
exactly
haven't seen at all is
is
Gore the God Butcher, and he ain't here to play no games. His family's been killed, his people have been killed. He feels like Thor feels, but he's not here to just chill out. He
yeah,
wants to get even with the gods.
yeah.
Gore the God Butcher is not gonna joke.
No, and there's a
Mm.
there's a kind of like a scene where you see kind of like them in Olympus, and I think it's going to be what's his name,
Russell Crowe,
Russell
Zeus.
Crowe.
Yes. So
So
I
I
reckon,
guess
yeah, Gore the
Gore
God
the
Butcher's
God
gonna
Butcher
do the rounds, killing the gods one
do
by
the
one.
rounds.
I wonder what gods we're gonna see. We might see gods that we never really thought of. 'Cause obviously, Greek gods. We're gonna see the
What are
Norse
Egyptian
gods. We might
Egyptian
see.
gods?
There you go. There you go.
Could there be a
We might
connection?
see. We might see Bast, the one that Black Panthers people pray to.
Oh yeah,
We might see all kind. You never know what we might see. You never know.
damn, it's
You
going to be
never
great,
know.
man.
Mm,
I just like these two movies, right? So we've got Doctor Strange, and then we've got
mm,
Thor. Like this year, the big movies for Marvel, and I really, really hope that they can deliver, man. Seriously, because for me, Eternals, it had its moments,
mm.
but it
Didn't
wasn't
deliver.
it didn't
Didn't deliver.
deliver us on
How can that
so many
package,
levels.
that package you're waiting for goes to your neighbor, and then your neighbor's not in? It's like the package almost delivered, but you still
Yeah,
ain't got it.
you
You
still
still
ain't got
haven't
it.
got it.
Oh man, seriously, that's exactly how it feels. There's something
Yeah.
missing when I watch Eternals, right? So hopefully they can fill that void with Doctor Strange, which I'm pretty sure they will, and with this Thor movie. But what do you reckon going forward? Are we going to see Chris Hemsworth in the MCU?
I reckon this could be.
His swan song?
It could be. I mean, it might be. Depends. It might be. Uh, I got to
Because
give him a
what?
call. I'll give him a call and I'll
Give
find
him a
out.
call, Deval. Come on, man. Because is there going to be like how? Because they have to reintroduce the Avengers again somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Where would he fit into it? Does he want to fit into it? How much further can he take the Thor character? I mean,
He's had
he might want
flipping
he might
four
want to go on a
movies, man.
high. He might want to yeah, falls. He might want to go on a high and think this is it. I've done my bit. I'll just show up now and again in Avengers
Yeah.
maybe or something like that.
Oh man, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So listen, folks,
Mm.
go out there and check out the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder. We reckon you're going to like it if you're a fan. Let us know what you think of it on the comment section in Instagram. All right, okay, let's do
Yeah,
anniversary corner. Let's go back to 2007. Whoa, oh my gosh.
15 years ago.
Let's speak about this, Devaldo. So like sick games, man. Some people can play some really, really sick games,
Play a
right?
game. For too long, you
There
have
we
been
go.
hosting these podcasts, letting people hear about movies. Now you will be the one in the
One
film.
in a film.
Little did you
Um,
know that lights behind you has been set on a timer. In 10 seconds, the lights go out.
out.
You choose on or
Oh shit.
off.
Devout, the light just went out. Okay, that was lame. Um, um,
Why does it
but
always start
listen,
with too long? You
to
have been. Leave us alone.
oh shit, man. These movies, Devaldo. Remember, we just watched one recently, like
Uh,
Spiral. Chris
yeah,
Rock, where
oh
he got
man, Chris
ironically
Rock.
he got slapped in that.
Did he? Oh my
I'm
gosh.
pretty sure he got punched up in that one.
This should be another one of those films and put Jada in it and see if he tries to save her
Say
or he's like,
anything.
go on in.
Exactly. So listen, this is the Saw franchise, and these movies have been
Oh,
going on for a really long time. So this is Saw. This is Saw 4.
four, yeah. So four.
So did you see 4? No, did you
I've seen
see
them all.
Saw
Yeah,
4?
I
Yeah.
must say when Saw first came out in 2003,
Oh
it
man.
changed things. That first movie, when you see that the guy who is the orchestrator of all these events was lying in that room the whole
Yeah.
time, and he
The
gets
whole
up,
time.
and then the music and the flashbacks, that was a game
It's
changer.
crazy.
Saw one was wicked.
And you know what the thing is, Devout? It's going to be 20 years.
Mm, yeah, anniversary. You're right. Yeah, it's going to be 20
I'm
years
pretty
soon.
sure they. I mean, I'm pretty sure they should be coming out with a new Saw
Yeah,
movie, man, to
I
mark the
reckon so.
anniversary.
And Saw started out as a 9-minute short film, and
Damn.
then they got the budget to go
To
into
go
a
further and further and further.
feature.
And this is James Wan, isn't it? He's kind of the one behind all this.
Yeah, he's part of the production team for this one. Is Darren Lynn Bozeman, who's the director, who I think was the person that was in Saw One in the bathroom, who was handcuffed to. I
Oh,
think that's him.
so one of the
If
actors then became the director.
I'm mistaken, I think that's him. I could be mistaken. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Uh, no, that's not him. It's someone else.
Oh, okay. And then
But yeah, they're
remember
all
we
part of
had
the same
the,
crew.
and then remember we had the before the Spiral one. Remember we had the Jigsaw one.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that was another kind of.
yeah,
It's part of that
yeah.
Saw franchise.
It's all
Anyway.
the same. I mean, this Saw 4 that came out 15 years ago. This one was the first one where the cop started to then be. He started to take on the Saw responsibilities because he was
Yeah.
kind of tied into it. But
No,
again, this
it's
one
not Donnie
wasn't.
Wahlberg, is it? No, no.
Donnie Wahlberg's in this one, but not a major part. I think
Right, right.
Donnie Wahlberg was in the second one, which had
Yeah.
all those people in the house, and he was the cop. And he said, the Saw guy said, "If you listen to me, you will find your son in a safe place." And then at the end of the film, his son was in the
Sounds
safe. Do you remember?
safe.
You got to
Yeah.
listen to you got to listen to Saw. That's the
Because
thing.
all the clues are in there.
It's there, but yeah, this one wasn't all that good. I mean, watch it
Yeah.
if you want. It's a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. It wasn't the best one, wasn't the shittest one, but it's Saw's a fun film.
Yeah.
Saw's are fun.
Yeah. And the guy,
So,
but you remind me again what his name is, the actor. What's his name again?
Tobin Bell, the Saw
That's it,
guy.
Toby. His
Mm.
face and his. I'm
Ah.
his even in other movies that I've seen him in, he
Mate,
basically does the Saw voice.
I want him to do my voicemail. You have not reached the vow, but leave a voicemail after the tone.
If you dare.
Exactly. For too
It'd be
long you have
crazy.
been calling. He has not answered your phone. That is a clue. He doesn't want to talk to you. Can you imagine?
Seriously, man.
Always on the tube, they're on the tube. You have
Imagine.
reached your destination. Will you get
Has
off?
arrived.
Or,
Please mind the
mind the
gap.
gap. Or don't. You'll be sucked into a trap which will divide your body into four
You know
equal
what, right?
portions.
This would be so cool, Devado. Please play this prank on someone where every single word that comes out your mouth, do it in that voice. Let's see how long you can last. That would be brilliant. You go
I'll
into
do the
like
next show in
Tesco's,
that
like,
voice. Next show, I'll do in that voice all the way through.
listen, guys,
Uh,
go check it out. If you haven't seen the
mm,
Saw movies, go all the way back to 2003. Go watch them and just relive them because they're great. There's like, yeah, some of them. You know what I love about them is some of them are really gruesome, and they're so
yeah,
intricate. And then there's some which are like really stupid, and the characters are stupid, and like
yeah.
like Deval said, they're great fun. So this ties in with the movie that we're going to be speaking about, and there is kind of similarities in the movies there, but this
Mm,
is a new Netflix movie that came out not too long ago. This is called Choose or Die, and Devout, I'm going to pick up on one of the things that you said. So we've
okay.
got
I'll say. Okay.
British actors with American accents,
Mhm.
and when I was watching the movie, I was thinking, shit, is this England that they're filming in?
Yeah. Seemed like it
So
to me.
the beginning, the opening shots of the movie where she's riding the bike and everything, I was like, that
Yeah.
looks like a field in England somewhere.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of weird, that whole thing. Stars Asa Butterfield.
Yeah.
He's an actor from Hugo. Remember that
Oh
Martin
yeah. Back
Scorsese
in.
movie?
Yeah. Yeah. And he's
I
in
was
Sex Education on Netflix as well, which is another
exactly,
one that's British people, but it looks American.
yeah.
So.
They're doing this thing kind of like, to market it in other markets and
Mm,
everything like that.
mm,
And so, yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, it's a horror, it's a thriller. And what I liked about it from the beginning, and we're going to get to the ending, by the way. Um, what I liked about it was this vibe, this 80s vibe that it had going on in the beginning of the
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Like you see a poster of A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then you see this poster of kind of like Highlander. So it kind of
Mm.
had this kind of like 80s vibe to it. And I say Nightmare on Elm Street, one of the voice characters was
Yeah.
Robert Englund, who played Freddy Krueger.
Freddy. Yeah. He's literally Freddy. Like he is the epitome of Freddy. You think of Freddy, it's Robert England. When did
Exactly.
he win in a fight between Freddy and Saw, Tobin Bell and Robert England?
Oh,
That's a good
because
fight.
remember we got the Jason versus Freddy one, didn't we?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Good
Yeah,
fights. But yeah, he's
yeah.
in it as well. Yeah.
He's in it as well. He does a kind of like a little thing. What was the girl? I've forgotten what the girl's name was. The lead kind of character.
Iola Evans.
Another British actress, Iola Evans. She's
Or
been in a few
Lola Evans.
things.
One of them.
Yeah, she's been in a few things. And it starts off with a guy at a computer. He's in a house. His family's kind
Mm,
of like, having an argument. He goes down to back to his basement, and he loads up this computer game like straight out of the 80s, like, really kind of like, 1-bit graphic or, something like
yeah,
that. And the
yeah,
actor is Eddie Marzan. He's this kind of like British actor. He's
yeah,
been in
yeah.
loads of movies, loads of kind of big Hollywood movies as well. And it starts off eerie, Deval. Did you get that vibe?
I got that vibe, and I definitely get where you're coming from with the whole '80s kind of, kind of B movie-ish kind of vibe,
Yeah,
and mise en scène, if I can say, the lighting and the
yeah.
stage and stuff like that. Kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, yeah, I'm not going to put a down on it straight away. I know you want to
Yeah,
talk about it a little
we'll
bit,
get
but
to the downer in a bit,
yeah,
but
yeah,
basically, this character, he starts playing the game, and then as he's playing the game is asking him to do things which, if he doesn't do, there's going to be severe
mm,
consequences
mm,
in real life for him and his
mm.
family. So that's where we're at with this game. It's literally a killer game.
Hmm.
If you don't do what the game asks you to do, then you'll basically die. You choose
Mm,
or you die, and that's the name of the movie. And then somehow the game ends up in the hands of Kayla, you know, and Asa Butterfield's kind of character. They kind of get hold of it, and the sickening games. They happen to her, and she's basically got to choose whether or not she plays the game or whether or not to die and everything. So the setup is kind of really interesting. We've
mm.
seen this before though, haven't we, Deval? Jumanji, I think I saw this in.
Yeah, Jumanji had something like that, and also is it Ouija? Or there's been other films where kind of you got to make a decision, and what your decision is either a fatal one or not.
Mm.
And I've seen, yeah, yeah, there's been similar movies basically like this. So
Yeah, so this is kind of like we've seen this kind of thing before, and obviously
mm,
Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, and all
yeah,
that sort of
yeah,
stuff. There's
yeah,
kind of similarities over there, and like you listen, look, the movie progresses, and she has to get past the levels, level one, level two, and each level there's scary shit that happens. And as the movie was progressing, and the first half of the movie developed, I thought, you know what, I'm actually really into this movie. It's got enough kind of a suspense going on in there, and the lighting's really great, and she's kind of like a real strong performer. I believe her character. I
mm,
wasn't too sure about him. I thought he was kind of like a bit of
mm,
a wet blanket.
yeah. I think he was. I don't know if they made him that way, or if it's just the way he came across
Yeah,
to make her obviously, because you got to have that one defining character, isn't it? And a lot of horror
yeah,
films these days, they like to have the surviving girl. I
yeah,
don't know what the term is, but the survivor girl at the
sure.
end. So maybe that's why they made him a bit like that. But you're right. She came across convincing. My
Mm,
thing is that the whole American English vibe that was going on, if I know that they're not American, it takes away
yeah,
from the film, and it
yeah,
takes away from people that are American who were not cast in the role. And maybe because the filmmakers were all British, and they, like you said, they wanted to make I guess, the cast seem American
yeah,
because of the international audience, and maybe it's more marketable that way, perhaps.
yep,
But I don't think it really landed
yeah,
that much for me, and it took away from the film. It kind of cheapened it for me, which
yeah.
I would have enjoyed. I don't mind a B movie type vibe in a film. It's cool, It takes me back to the good old days.
Exactly. There's a character in there who's kind of like this drug dealer, and I'm not joking, Devaldo. His he his accent, man.
Mm,
I could hear his accent. It just wasn't coming off, man. There was so
yeah,
many
yeah, yeah,
moments where I was
yeah.
like, "Ah, shit, man, you lost me. You lost me.
Mm,
You lost me." So the movie kind of culminates in this kind of she progresses through the levels, and level one, level two, level three, and they kind of go on this little road trip, which is according to the game is kind of
mm,
considered like a cheat. And you know what, that's when it lost me.
mm.
That is
Yeah,
when
I know that journey. I know it's very. I don't know. I think it's a good concept. I just think the execution wasn't nailed, if I can say that
yeah,
well. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to badmouth it too much. It's not hard. It's not easy making movies, and
yeah, of
it's
course.
just very tricky. The fact it's being made and it's on Netflix, that's really good. I just think the execution wasn't as there for the I guess the vision that they originally had. I think the film in itself was wrapped up in 124 minutes. That's under 90 minutes. It makes you
Really
think
short movie.
how much was cut out. Yeah, because in many films, lots are cut out. So there could have been more that was cut out like this that just didn't really help
Yeah,
the plot. But I mean, the idea for me is really good. Like you said, this is a game, and we all on digital stuff these days, playing games or whatever it might be, and for them to use a game in this movie to make it sort of drive the plot and make you think, what would you do? In many cases, whatever they did, they were doomed. At
mm.
least with Saw, they give you an option. You're kind of doomed, but sometimes you got to doom someone else to survive. And in
To
this one,
survive,
sometimes
exactly.
no matter what they'd done, they were doomed. So it wasn't really too fair. Going to
Mm.
die anyway. It should just be called die. There's no choosing.
Exactly. There's no choosing. But
But
yeah, and the
yeah, I
way
don't
the
know.
kind of movie ends, there's kind of like this one little kind of fight scene at the end, and I was just like,
Yeah.
oh man, like they went down that road, and it kind of then shows. that maybe it was rushed a little bit. Who knows? But listen, look, the concept and the idea, exactly what Deval was saying, is decent. There's a half an hour, 45 minutes of a decent movie in there. And if you can get beyond that, you'll make it to the end of the movie without dying. All right. But listen, yeah, go check it out. It's out on Netflix. And maybe going forward, Devaldo, Netflix might not make these types of movies because they're hemorrhaging money.
Yeah, so you're right. Maybe they'll select a bit more going forward.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They'll be a bit more choosy, won't they? Otherwise, people will die.
So listen, yeah. So folks, that is the end of the episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Remember, please keep it locked with the Flixters. We've got some big movies coming up, like we've mentioned before: Doctor Strange, Thor, other big TV
name.
shows that we want to be speaking about.
Better Call Saul, that's out right now.
Ozark is going to be coming out.
That. Yeah, decent.
Russian Doll, by the way, we got to watch that one as well.
Need to watch that.
Exactly.
They should have just called it Doll right now. I'm not sure if the Russian part's going to help much people.
Exactly. How many people want to switch off? Oh, and the After Party. I've been watching the After Party which is this thing on Apple Plus. So we can maybe speak about that at some point as well. But listen, thanks for joining us, folks. Thank you, Deval, for joining me. And that's it.
Yeah. Till next time. Peace out.
We're just oh shit, man. Seriously, we've the funny thing is with these podcasts, it's like the bit before the podcast ends up being longer than the actual podcast.
For an hour, you know that.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.